Okay, sitting up nice and tall. So feel free to support the back, you can lean against the wall. And just make sure we're not slouching over or we're not leaning too far. You don't want to be causing any tension in this position. Really nice and comfortable. So we're going to start off with a few little stretches and then we're going to do a nice guided meditation just to help us wind down for the end of the week. So even if you do it tonight, you can also repeat it more than once if you need to. So it's a nice way to help you get to sleep. Coming into a comfortable seat, and up tall through spine. So with any meditation, we always begin by setting the mind. We then connect to the breath. We then move into focusing on an object, which could include the breath. Could be a candle. Could be a deity. Or something that means peace to you, but we want to try and make that object something that's not moving too much. It's not giving us any distraction of the mind. We're just always beginning with that setup, really important in our practice. So beginning by closing the eyes, taking the gaze to the tip of the nose. If closing the eyes feels that you're going too deep, so with yoga and meditation, we want to step into the role of the observer, the witness. We almost separate out the self into being the watcher and the doer. So for now, just try and become that watcher. And just start to observe the mind. Start to set the mind. Just watching any thoughts that flip back and forth. And maybe just start to notice what reactions you would normally take. What emotions these thoughts might stir up. Or feelings. So the mind's like a factory, it naturally has the job of processing thoughts. And a lot of people think meditation is completely about stopping thoughts, about silencing the mind. But that's impossible to do. What we want to try and do is quieten down the chaos so it's not dictating the self, it's not dictating our actions and our reactions. We need to get to know the mind. We need to watch as those thoughts flow in and out of the mind. Maybe even just try and slow it all down a little. Taking a beat or a moment before we react, before we act, before we respond. So just watching the mind. Checking in with the physical body. So just be aware and mindful of any areas of tightness, any aches and pains, and also any areas that feel quite nice. You might have done a nice set of practices this week and you're feeling good about the body. Pain might be minimal. So again, just observe but not obsess, not give it too much attention, especially if it's an injury or it's an aching pain. And then turn the attention to the breath. So like we did with the mind, just observe the breath. Try and watch as it flows around the body. Watch as it flows in and out of the nostrils. Notice the change in temperature. Notice the pace or the tempo of the breath. If you've had quite a hectic day, it might feel a little bit erratic, a little bit racy. or you might feel nice and calm. And again, we want to use the breath to introduce that sense of serenity. We want to bring a sense of control to the breath, which we call pranayama, which means going against the grain. Because we're going against the grain of the natural autonomous breath that we do without even thinking. So meditation and yoga is just about observing, noticing stuff, becoming aware. And before we reach that higher state of awareness, we need to get to know our environment, get to know ourselves. Otherwise we don't have that sense of balance. We often live too much in the higher chakras or energy points, too in our heads. We're not acknowledging that we're also part of earth, and we need to find that grounding, keeping our feet on the ground, as an old saying would say. So we're starting to bring that control to the breath. We're going to take a deep inhalation through the nostrils. Before you do, just take the palms onto the lower belly. Take a deep breath in on a slow count of 3, breathing into the palms, keeping the shoulders soft, keeping the face muscles soft. So inhale deeply for 1, 2, move the breath into the chest, back of the throat, and 3, and then exhale through the mouth, 1, 2, 3. And you should notice the navel moving into spine, the fingertips moving closer together. And again, inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, feel the lower belly drawn in for 1. Feel the pelvic floor lift slightly, 2. Feel lengthen the spine, 3. Lovely, and again, inhale. So just maintain that rhythm of breath. Keep the focus on the breath. Try and expand the breath so it moves more into the rib cage, the back. On the exhale, feel the lower belly drawing into spine. Feel the spine lifting, feel the crown of the head growing taller. So creating length and space with every round of conscious breath. 2 more rounds, inhale. Make sure the breath's not strained. Exhale. One more round, inhale. And exhale. And then gently open the eyes. Move the palms away, reach the palms up on the inhale, take the hands above the head. Interlace the fingers, take the palms towards the ceiling, push the palms away. And then if it feels comfortable, taking the gaze up the back of the hands, just taking 3 rounds of breath. And again, let every inhale be a count of 3. Let the exhale be a count of 3, maybe a bit longer if you've been practicing a while longer. With every exhalation, it's important to lengthen, go a little bit deeper, but never pushing into pain, never pushing into discomfort or dis-ease. Well done, and then gently bringing the palms in front. You want to round through the back slightly. Send the shoulder blades further towards the back of the room, send the palms to the front, drop the chin to chest. And then just open up the palms so the shoulder width apart. Lower the hands onto the knees. And then we're going to scoop the heart forward and take the gaze to brow centre. So keep that fluidity and then rounding the shoulders, taking that arch in the back. Send the shoulder blades further back. Inhale, reach forward. Just 2 more, going with the flow of the breath. Finding space in the vertebrae, so just a nice gentle variation of cat and cow. 1 more. And then when you're reaching the heart forward, we're just going to take it to the side. We're just taking it over to the left side, round, and when you come back, and then reaching forward. So just 5 little rounds in one direction. Maybe starting to move the head and neck. You can feel a little bit more fluid in the shoulders, so finding that sense of liberation and freedom. So this is massaging the internal organs. It's also getting into the neck, the shoulders. One more. So just slowing it down and then taking it the opposite way. It's also nice for the digestive system. Getting into the ascending and descending colon. Use the breath. Inhale as you reach forward, exhale as you bring it back. One more. And then gently bringing it into the center. Extend the right palm up. Left hand comes onto the floor, maybe come onto the forearm. Keep that nice lateral side bend. You can also place it on a cushion. Reaching through that hand and then taking it over. And just gently look up to the thumb, make sure the neck's nice and long and we're not straining, we're not hunching in the shoulders, we're keeping that length. For 1. Nice long deep breaths, don't lose the breath. 2. And 3, lovely. Slowly coming back up, lower down, swapping sides. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, taking it over the opposite way. It's always nice to have a little stretch before bed. Just helps the body wind down, it helps the mind wind down. It takes the focus away from whatever's been going on in the day, especially if there's anything stressful or any situations that you haven't been able to shake off. Just focusing on the breath changes that awareness. Inhale, pushing up. Both the palms up again, interlace the fingers with a little stretch up. And then exhale, take the hands behind the back, palms facing behind you, roll the shoulders up and back, lift the heart, and take the gaze to brow center. 1, keep breathing, keep the sit bones rooted. 2, imagine there's a piece of string from the heart, lifting you up. And 3, lovely, head and neck to center. Release the palms. Right palm reaches up and over the head, and we're just going to hook under the ear, press through the left palm and then drop the ear to shoulder. So we get a nice deep stretch down the side of the neck. Nothing too intense, nothing too active, just respecting the body, respecting the yoga. Well done, and then back to center. Gently release. Swap sides. Opposite palm reaches up. And then over the head, underneath the earlobe. Dropping the ear over to shoulder. For 1. 2. And 3. Lovely. Slowly coming back. Reach the palms back up above the head, interlace the fingers, take them to the back of the head, and then we're just going to take a little twist. We're going to twist over to the left, keep the navel facing forward, draw that left elbow behind you, drink the breath in and then bring it back to center, twist the opposite way. So take a deep breath once you're there and then use the exhale to twist a little bit deeper. Inhale back to center, 1 more each side. Drawing the elbow back. Bringing it back to center, so keep the breath going. Taking it over. So just notice if the knees are starting to come up in a protective way. Just try and relax and soften. It's often a sign that we're going too deep. Back to centre. And then drop the chin to chest, bring the elbows in. Stretching out the back of the neck without collapsing down into the spine. Keep that length. And then coming back to the centre. Release the hands. Lovely. So we're going to lengthen the legs out in front of us. Get ready as if we're doing a seated forward fold. Pull the flesh away, so we're sitting right on the edge of the sit bones. Take the attention to the ball of the baby toes, draw them back. Take the attention to the ball of the big toes, imagine you pressing them energetically away from you into a wall. And just allow and make sure the kneecaps are facing up and pointing towards the ankles, so we're not collapsing out. Got a bit of engagement going with the legs, but nothing too much where it's taking all your energy. You want to just keep that sense of balance. If you feel like you're dumping into the spine and it's taken a lot to sit up in this position, put another cushion underneath, make your seat a little bit higher. Well done. And then inhale, lengthen through the arms. On the exhale, draw the lower belly into spine, lift through the pelvic floor, reach forward. And then inhale, lift and lengthen again. Exhale, bow. Just allow the palms to passively rest alongside the legs. So feet can be together or the legs can be hip width apart. Just listen to your body. If you're going too deep, just 2 more nice long breaths. And maybe imagine the breath like a mantra. So on the inhale, we whisper the word let. On the exhale, maybe whisper the word go. This can be in the mind. Okay, when you're ready, inhale, lift the gaze. Walk the hands back. And then bend the right knee. And then we're going to bring the right heel into the groin, open the right hip out. Extend the left leg away and then turn towards that left leg. Lift and lengthen through the heart. Exhale, walk the hands forward. And again, we want to take a more yin approach to the practice tonight. Avoid grabbing the foot and really trying to push into the position. Just allow yourself to surrender. Allow the body to decide where it wants to go. It might want to just stay here, that's fine. We need to get out of our heads this notion of having to grab the toes and prevent the ego from taking over. And just watching when it starts to creep in to want to push us into pain or discomfort. Just keep focusing on the breath. You should notice the body start to open up itself. Well done, and then inhale, walking the hands back up. Bringing the knee to centre, straighten the leg out and swap sides. Just very simple tonight. Janu Sirsasana, opposite leg comes in. Just make sure the knee's closed off. Turn towards that right leg and then use the exhale, reaching forward. Turn the palms up so then we remove that temptation to want to grab. And just notice if the palms are curled up like this, that's often a protective stance. We're holding on to something, just allow it to let go, allow it to surrender. Release. Releasing anything that we don't need, anything that might bring us negativity. One more breath. Well done. And then inhale, lift the gaze. Walk the hands back. Bring the knee to centre. Straighten out the legs. And then we're going to take the legs nice and wide. So again, same principle, keeping the knees lifted upwards and then energetically pointing knees to ankles. Inhale, lifting the arms up. And then we're going to turn towards the right leg. Fold over that right leg. Turn the palms to face up and just rest for 5 long deep breaths. Keep inhaling as you lengthen. Keep exhaling as you surrender, eventually come into stillness. For 3, 4, make sure the left leg's active, both the hips rooted. And 5, lovely. And then we're going to walk the hands back, and then we're just going to bring chest to the centre. We're going to release the right hand down the inside of that right leg. We're going to take the left hand onto the left shoulder, and then we're just going to twist that left shoulder to face up. And then allow the hand to slide a little bit further forward. And then you might want to rest the left hand on the head and point the elbow up and back. You might want to take it all the way over. Eventually, both the hands will rest on that right foot, but don't worry if they're not there. Just about finding that space and length in the spine. Just 3 more breaths. Really let go. A variation on sundial. Well done. And then inhale, lifting up. Turn towards the opposite leg. Fold over that leg. So keeping both the buttocks rooted. And sometimes if they feel super tight, you might want to just squeeze the quads on the inhale and then just use the exhale just to release any locked energy that might be holding on or laying dormant. For 3, 4, 5, lovely. Inhale, lift the gaze. Walk the hands back, turn towards the centre, and then we're going to take the left hand onto the inside of that left leg. Right hand comes onto the shoulder, use the breath to twist, and then just slide that left arm down the inside. So the elbow might come onto the floor. You want to keep the heart nice and open without straining. Check in with the jaw at this point, make sure we're not pushing it back. If we do feel that's happening, just take a little swallow, relax, and then either just rest the hand on the head, elbow pointing up and drawing back, or you might want to release the hand all the way over. Just watch the chest doesn't fall down towards the floor, keep the chest lifted. One side might feel a little bit more open than the other. Just enjoy that lovely stretch down the side body. Might feel a little bit uncomfortable if you've just had your tea. I feel like there's a lot in the way. Make sure you're nice and careful, don't go too deep. It's 3, 2 more breaths. 4 and 5, lovely. Use the inhale to come all the way up. And then float the arms up, and then use the exhale slowly with control as you reach forward. You can either passively just rest the palms in front of you facing up. You might want to rest the palms on the outside of the feet or grab the big toes. Just make sure you're not straining in there. So 5 breaths here in straddle pose, getting into the inner thighs, also with the hips. Sometimes if you've got a block or a bolster, you can place it underneath the chest or underneath the forehead. So if we were doing a yin class, we'd hold these for about 2 to 5 minutes passively. It's quite a powerful practice, so we will do that one week. It's a beautiful way to prepare for bed. And just to end the day, give the body some TLC. One more breath. And then inhale, lift the heart. Slowly walk the hands back. Take the hands behind the back, palms facing forward, and then we're just going to inhale, lift the heart, and only if you feel comfortable, point the toes away. You might want to lift the hips off the floor and drop the head and neck up or back. For 4, nice little counter stretch. 3, 2, 1, head and neck to centre, lower the hips, bend the knees, walk the feet in, keep the knees bent, wrap around the shins, and just take a little cosmic egg, drop the chin to chest. Well done, lift the gaze, and then release back into a seated position. So we're just going to finish with a little bit of work with the shoulders. So we're going to extend the right palm up, and then drop the right hand down the back, so the palm's in the centre of the shoulder blades. Left hand comes to the elbow, draw the elbow back. Make sure the ribs don't stick out, so keep the ribs drawn in slightly. So option is to stay here. If you can do full Gomukhasana cow face position, I'll just take the reverse. You can either stay here or you can reach the opposite hand out and clasp. Keep the gaze lifted, keep the ribs drawn in. You might want to come up onto your knees if that's a comfortable position for you. This is just about giving the shoulders a nice little stretch. Just 2 more rounds of breath. You can always use a strap or a belt. That should be just an inch or so away. Well done, and then slowly release. So we're going to take that right hand underneath the left. Bring the elbows together and then take the palms to hug the shoulder blades. Lift the elbows up, reach the elbows forward and then lower down towards navel, keeping the shoulders away from ears. Option is to stay here, or you can take eagle arms. Bottom hand comes up and we clasp onto that top thumb. And then we just drop the elbows to navel. Drawing the chin in, reaching the elbows forward and down. You should really feel it on the back of the shoulders. Just make sure you can breathe, breathing into the shoulder blades. Well done, and then gently release. Open out the palms on the inhale. And then swapping sides. So left arm stretches up. On the exhale, drop the hand down the back. Take hold of the elbow. Draw the elbow back. Or take the bind. If it's accessible on this side, so reaching the opposite hand out. Taking it up the back and clasp. Eventually you want that top elbow to disappear behind the crown of the head. Keep the ribs drawn in. Breathe. Keep the connection to the self, keep the awareness. So we avoid closing the eyes fully and taking the awareness away from the breath. I want to keep aware. Keep being that witness, the observer and doer. Well done. And then slowly release. Left arm comes underneath the right. Take hold of the elbows. Take hold of the shoulder blades. Or full eagle arms. Bottom hand comes up. Lift through the elbows and then lower to navel. For 1. Keep breathing into the shoulder blades. 2. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, slowly release. Taking the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers and just pull the palms away. And lift the chest, lift the gaze. And then gently head and neck to centre. If you're in kneeling position, just come back into that seated position. So now's the chance, if you want to, you can roll down onto the back, come into Shavasana, or you can just stay in a seated position, entirely up to you. If you're in Shavasana, make sure the chin is not higher than the forehead. Any low back pain, keep the knees bent. Keep the shoulders supported, the hips supported if need be. And just make sure the neck's not straining back. Palms alongside the body, facing up. And then take a deep breath in. Open the mouth. Deep breath out. One more deep breath in. Exhale, deep breath out. Just feel yourself sinking into the earth. Close the eyes, allowing the eyes to rest in the sockets. Relax the facial muscles. Relax the jaw. And then just take the attention to the left leg, down to the left foot. Relax the left foot. Left foot, relax. Take the attention to the left shin and calf muscle. Feel any tightness just melting away. Relax the left shin and calf muscle. Move into the knee, the thighs, and the back of the left leg. Send softness to the muscles, joints. Relax the left knee, thigh, and back of the leg. And then take the attention to the right foot. Relax the right foot and ankle. Moving up towards the right shin and calf muscle. Just allowing any fatigue tiredness to melt away. Relax the right shin and calf muscle. Moving into the right kneecap, thigh, and back of the leg. Feel them being massaged into the air. Relax the right kneecap, thigh, and back of the leg. And then move the attention into the pelvic area, the buttocks and the hips. We hold all our tightness, our tension. And just feel it all being soothed away with the breath. Relax the pelvis, the buttocks and the hips. And move the attention towards the abdominals, the chest, just allow the breath to be free, to flow, to be calm. Relax the abdominals and the chest. Move the attention into the lower back, upper back, relax the lower back and upper back. Move the awareness into the shoulders, the neck, back of the head. Relax the shoulders, neck, back of the head. Taking the awareness to the left arm, forearm and wrist. Relax the left arm, forearm and wrist. Gently moving across to the right forearm, upper arm and wrist. Relax the right upper arm, forearm and wrist. Just feel both the palms unfurling, the fingertips just letting go. And just imagining two lights in the palm of the hands. And as the breath comes to a quiet, constant, peaceful flow, visualize this light growing brighter and stronger, reaching out of every cell, forming the crown and a lotus flower above the crown of the head, and reaching down to form a halo around the soles of the feet. Keeping the eyes closed, just visualize this radiance of light representing your inner beauty, wisdom and peace. Raising your vibrational energy and illuminating your inner strength, your higher self. And just let go. Surrender to the breath. Surrender to the power of the breath. Surrender to the self. Just remain for a few more minutes, just in silence. So feel free to stay here for as long as you need to. Just embracing this peace. It's well-deserved time for the self. And only if you feel ready, just bring an awareness back into the room. Begin to notice any external sounds. And then bring the awareness back to the breath. Back to the self. Back to the physical body. Keeping the eyes closed. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Move the head side to side. And then float the arms over the head. Take a deep breath in. Take a nice yawning stretch. Not too energetic. And then use the exhale, hug the knees into the chest, giving yourself a nice big love. Giving gratitude for one thing in your life. Bringing a smile to the face, smile to the heart. And then rolling over to your right side as you reconnect to the earth. Keeping the eyes closed, coming up into a comfortable seated position. Sitting up tall. And then bringing the palms together. And just rubbing the hands, keeping the eyes closed. Just feeling the heat that you've generated. Heat from every cell. Heat, that fire, that internal tapas. And then just gently take the heel of the hands over the eyes. Observe and witness if you see any colours, any visions. Just watch, stay as that observer. And then gently move the palms down and take the palms to a part of the body that you want healing, which could include the heart, the head, the hips, wherever you need that healing, just hold the palms there. Just allow that heat to be received, to be accepted. And sometimes it's just about accepting the self for who we are right now. Being thankful for the simple things in life. And then bring the palms together in the centre of the heart into Anjali Mudra. Bow the head and neck. Giving gratitude to the practice. And then open the eyes. Coming from darkness into the light. Lifting the gaze. Bowing to the light with each other with a smile. Namaste. Thank you. Well done.